Yes, sir.
With one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well?
With guns in here.
Alright, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
There's no safety. You gotta take it.
There's no safety.
You take
Okay.
it out.
Well, I'm not gonna mess around with that too much. Let me just set this down right here. Dude, step out for me. Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. Alright, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest.
Are you sure?
We're gonna be at the church. Alright, I appreciate you being cool, man. We're just gonna take a look at this information, make sure it's valid.
I ain't sure this.
Just take a step to the side for me.
Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas, his ass going to prison. If you goddamn keep that shit up, his ass going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had that conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Cause I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
When you grow up in the spotlight, the world watches every mistake twice as hard. And for King Harris, son of Atlanta legend T.I., those mistakes have turned into a storyline nobody can ignore. From tantrums on Instagram Live to wild nights in the streets, King spent years telling the world he wasn't raised soft, that he was really from the hood. But now those words look more like a curse than an image. Because after years of warnings from his father, reckless stunts, and embarrassing viral moments, King is facing the reality his dad predicted: 5 years in prison. The turning point came in October 2024. King was driving reckless, swerving through traffic when he almost collided with a cop car. That single move would have been enough to get him pulled over. But once officers searched the vehicle, things spiraled quick. They found weed, a gun, and then discovered King had an outstanding 2022 warrant still hanging over his head. Just like that, he was cuffed on the spot. What made the moment even bigger was the footage. Cameras caught him being arrested, looking calm and unbothered while officers led him away. The internet ate it up instantly. Some fans laughed, saying King finally got the street cred he'd been begging for. Others were shocked, saying the boy who grew up on reality TV and mansions was now stepping into the very life he glamorized online. Overnight, King went from spoiled celebrity kid to prison-bound headline. But this wasn't some random twist of fate. King had been walking down this road for years. Everybody remembers the Waffle House fight in 2022, the video where he squared up with strangers, yelling about being outside and acting tougher than anyone believed. Instead of learning from the embarrassment, King doubled down. He started flashing guns in music videos, waving stacks of cash on Instagram, and bragging about a lifestyle he was never truly part of. It didn't matter that fans clowned him as a privileged kid playing gangster. King wanted the image, and he was willing to risk everything for it. Even T.I. himself saw it coming. Back in 2022, Tip sat King and Boozy Badazz's son, Tootie Raw, down for a real conversation. The OGs told their sons point blank, "Keep moving like this, and you'll end up in prison." Tip, who's been through federal gun cases and real street struggles, wasn't just talking for TV. He was speaking from experience. But King brushed it off. He laughed, smirked, and acted like the warnings didn't apply to him. Now those words hang heavy, echoing like prophecy fulfilled. To make things even more tragic, King had just stepped into fatherhood before the arrest. His girlfriend, known online as Big Nana, gave birth to their son only weeks earlier. For the first time, fans thought maybe King was ready to calm down. He even dropped a song called Dear Son, rapping about being there for his child and breaking cycles. But just as people started to root for him, the arrest happened. Instead of changing diapers and bonding with his newborn, King is now facing the possibility of missing the first 5 years of his son's life. The internet was split on how to react. Some people roasted him, calling it karma, saying he finally got what he'd been asking for. Memes painted him as the rich kid who pretended to be hood until the law treated him like one. Others showed sympathy, pointing out that fatherhood might be the exact wake-up call he needs. Maybe prison time would force King to sit down, reflect, and finally realize the image he's chasing isn't worth the cost. But whether you're laughing at him or praying for him, one thing's clear. King Harris isn't just fighting a case. He's fighting for his identity. For years, he tried to convince the world he wasn't the pampered son of a superstar. Now the system is about to test if he's really built for the life he claimed.
And their grandmamas, his ass going to prison. If he goddamn keep shit up, his ass going to prison.
Then he wanna talk about some other like this being shit. This being shit. No, I'm being real. You lying. You lying. You up here flagging. You're cat. Don't be in this bitch. Wait till I come back in the market late night, and then it's just you, and I slap you up. Yeah. You trying to act off, son? All like this in front of all your people. Tell your mama I said Happy Mother's Day, and then Karen in my face and shit. Like what?
Stand by right here for me. 32, I'm 10 extend, 1 detain. Spread your legs slightly. I just need to pat you down.
Long before his October 2024 arrest, King Harris had already built a reputation as the problem child of the Harris family. While T.I. and Tiny tried to keep their household polished for cameras during the family hustle, King was the one who refused to play along. The moment he hit his teenage years, he went full rebellion mode, chasing street validation even though the whole world already saw his privileged upbringing on TV. The first major sign was the Waffle House incident in 2022. That night, King got into an argument with staff and random customers, puffing his chest and shouting like he was running the streets. Cameras caught every second, and when the video hit the internet, it was a feeding frenzy. People laughed at him, calling him the rich kid cosplaying as gangster. Instead of humbling him, though, King doubled down. He went live the next day, bragging about being outside and daring people to test him. That clip became a meme, with fans replaying it anytime he acted out. Then came the gun-flashing videos. On multiple occasions, King posted clips on Instagram, waving pistols, smoking heavy, and talking slick. He wasn't rapping bars in a studio. He was broadcasting incriminating behavior to thousands of followers. Every time he hit post, he gave haters more ammo. People called him a parody of a street rapper, pointing out that real hustlers didn't advertise their dirt online. To them, King was playing gangster for attention. But the danger was real. Cops and enemies could watch just like fans did. And then there were the viral arguments with T.I. himself. One of the most infamous moments was when Tip confronted his son live on camera, reminding him he grew up with money and opportunity. King fired back, claiming he wasn't raised in no mansion and that he really grew up in the hood. The internet tore him apart. Memes popped up with side-by-side shots of King's reality TV childhood in luxury homes contrasted with his street talk. Even T.I. couldn't hide his frustration, telling fans his son was delusional and addicted to attention. But that's what King craved most, attention. Good or bad, it didn't matter. Every scandal put his name back in the headlines. Every meme kept him trending. And in the age of viral culture, clout feels like currency. King seemed addicted to it, even if it meant turning himself into a punchline. What made things worse is how King bragged about being untouchable. During traffic stops, he mouthed off to cops, live streaming as if nothing could happen to him. At one point, officers found weed and a firearm in his car, but King treated it like a minor inconvenience. He jumped back online after and clowned people for doubting him. But what he didn't realize was that every brush with the law was building a record. By the time his October 2024 arrest came, prosecutors had a whole highlight reel of reckless behavior to point to. The internet, of course, turned all of this into endless content. TikTok edits mocked him as the suburban kid desperate for stripes. YouTube reaction channels broke down his meltdowns frame by frame. Even fellow rappers started taking subliminal shots, using King as an example of what happens when privilege and street fantasies collide. And the wildest part? King seemed to love it. Instead of disappearing after scandals, he leaned in, feeding the cycle by posting more, saying more, and inviting the attention that eventually turned toxic. By the time he hit that October arrest, the memes were already written. Fans weren't shocked. They said it was inevitable. To them, King wasn't just a young man making mistakes. He was a walking cautionary tale, proof that chasing clout and trying to prove yourself real can land you in the very place you swore you were built for, a prison cell. And through it all, his father, the same T.I. who once rapped about surviving the trap and flipping his story, had to watch helplessly as his son sprinted headfirst into the same cycle he warned about.
Treat mine like you treat yours.
Why y'all got so much time, bro? Why y'all always gotta have?
What is it about
It's not illegal to have.
Well, in the manner in which you portraying in the lifestyle, it don't look legitimate, sir.
Cause I'm not supporting no whore. I'm not.
Ain't doing.
I'm not.
What kind of parents don't support their kids and they'll goddamn slide?
Bigger than you.
Popping it. And then got over there. So 12 pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Somebody got to raise their hand.
I've been seeing him around too here a lot.
You gonna raise your own hand?
I've been seeing him around too.
Well, when you got it ain't
I know that.
when y'all got around those people, that's called it's not the possession of a commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For T, watching his son unravel in public has been painful, but it's also been ironic, because Tip saw this coming years ago. Back in 2022, he sat King down alongside Boozy Badaz and his son, Tootie Raw, for a heart-to-heart. The two OGs gave their boys the raw truth. If you play with guns, drugs, and ego, you're either going to end up dead or locked behind bars. It wasn't for TV drama, it was real fatherhood. T.I. had lived that life. Federal gun cases, prison time, probation. He knew the system and how unforgiving it could be. But King smirked through the whole thing, brushing it off like his dad was overreacting. Fast forward to now, and T.I.'s warning looks less like advice and more like prophecy fulfilled. Ty has always been outspoken about raising his kids right, even if it meant tough love. On The Family Hustle, he branded himself as a hands-on father, strict but present. He often spoke about breaking cycles and giving his kids better than what he had. But King became his blind spot. No matter how much T.I. tried to guide him, King rejected it, chasing an image that clashed with everything Tip built. For a man who prides himself on discipline and control, watching his own son spiral was the ultimate humiliation. And the internet never let him forget it. Whenever King made headlines, fans flooded T.I.'s comments with jokes like, "Where's all that family hustle now?" Or, "You failed your son." Critics painted him as a hypocrite, the king of the South who couldn't even keep his own household in check. To Ty, it wasn't just about public image. It was about pride, manhood, and the pain of realizing that money, fame, and wisdom can't always save your kids from themselves. What makes the story even heavier is the timing of King's fatherhood. Just weeks before his October arrest, King's girlfriend, known online as Big Nana, gave birth to their baby. For a brief moment, it looked like King might be ready to mature. He posted pictures from the baby shower, talked about stepping into his new role, and even dropped a song called Dear Son, where he rapped about breaking generational curses. Fans thought maybe this was the turning point, that fatherhood would humble him where lectures and memes couldn't. But instead, the arrest flipped that hope into tragedy. Now, instead of bonding with his newborn, King is facing the possibility of missing the first 5 years of his child's life. For a young man trying to prove himself, nothing could sting worse than being labeled an absent father before he even had the chance to show up. And for T.I., who once vowed to give his children the kind of father he never had, watching his son step into that cycle of absence has to cut deep. On social media, the irony was thick. Fans dug up clips of King bragging about being ready to raise a family, posting them side by side with his mugshot. Others joked that his newborn had more sense than he did. But beneath the trolling, some fans admitted it was sad, because if King really embraced fatherhood, it might have been the thing to save him. Inside the Harris household, whispers say Tiny and T.I. clashed on how to handle it. Tiny, always softer with the kids, wanted to show support and patience. Tip leaned toward discipline, saying King had to face the consequences of his choices. That tension only made the family drama feel bigger, as if King's mistakes were tearing apart the same perfect family image VH1 once sold to millions of viewers. For King, this is a crossroads. He can either let the sentence break him or let it wake him up. For T.I., it's the bitter reality of fatherhood, that sometimes even when you see the storm coming and warn your child, you can't stop them from walking into the rain.
But what I'm saying is, they wasn't
talk like that outside.
Hey, I can talk how the fuck I want to wherever I'm at. I'm on live, shawty. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. This ain't your fucking restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name?
What's your name?
My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Fire out your shit.
Come back.
What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here. Come on.
When the judge finally handed down the sentence, 5 years, the Harris family's world shifted. King, who had spent years clowning around online, suddenly had no jokes left. The boy who bragged about being built for the streets was now facing the very reality he claimed to embrace. The difference? This time, it wasn't a performance for Instagram Live. It was the system, cold and unforgiving. Reports from the courtroom said the judge made it clear. King's celebrity background wouldn't save him. Having T.I. as a father didn't buy him a lighter sentence. If anything, it made the court want to send a stronger message. For too long, King acted untouchable. Now he was reminded that the law doesn't care about your last name. The silence in the room said it all. This wasn't just another viral moment. This was the start of a long stretch behind bars. The internet reaction was immediate and ruthless. Memes exploded across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Screenshots of King bragging about being from the hood were paired with his mugshots. Edits of the family hustle were recut as the prison hustle. Some fans even joked about T.I. visiting his son behind glass. But not everyone was laughing. A portion of fans actually expressed sympathy, pointing out that King was still young, with time to change his path if he learned from this. To them, the sentence wasn't the end. It was a reset button. Still, the jokes drowned out the sympathy, and for T.I., the humiliation was heavy. The man who built his image on strength, leadership, and breaking cycles was now watching his son live out the exact cycle he spent his life warning against. The same fans who once praised him for being a family man were now questioning if he failed as a father. No rap beef, no legal case, no diss track had ever threatened his legacy as much as this. Tiny once again tried to play the role of protector. She stood by her son, posting supportive messages and asking people not to judge him too harshly. But that didn't stop the wave of criticism. For many, King's downfall wasn't just about him. It was about the Harris household as a whole. The once perfect family that VH1 showcased was now remembered as a fractured family drama. And yet there's still a sense of unfinished business. King's story ain't over. Prison has broken plenty of young men, but it's also saved some. For the first time, King has no audience, no Instagram lives, no cameras to feed off of. Just time. Time to reflect, time to think about his son, time to decide whether he wants to grow or come out worse. For a kid addicted to attention, silence might be the one thing that changes him. As for T.I.'s legacy, it's complicated now. He'll always be remembered as a Southern rap legend, a man who turned hustling into chart-topping hits and inspired a generation. But when fans talk about him today, they can't ignore the shadow of King Harris. To many, Tip's reputation as a father took the biggest hit. His critics call him a hypocrite, while his supporters say he did everything he could, and King just wouldn't listen. Either way, the image of T.I. as a man fully in control of his family is gone. In the end, King Harris's downfall is a reminder of one harsh truth. No amount of money, fame, or guidance can stop someone from self-destruction if they refuse to change. T.I. warned his son, the world warned his son, but King had to learn the hard way. Now, the same internet that laughed at his antics will watch closely to see if prison humbles him or hardens him. One thing's for sure, this ain't just another headline. It's a defining chapter in the Harris family saga. And when people talk about King Harris from here on, it won't be about spoiled reality TV tantrums. It'll be about the kid who wanted to prove he was real and ended up paying the price.